We'll now be adding the head and the abdomen to the rig. I can activate the skeleton by pressing Enter in the viewport. Then I will select the center of gravity joint. I will then change the mode to Create using the drop-down menu. It is possible to cycle between Create and Modify by pressing Enter in the viewport. I'll add a bone for the head. Then I'll add a bone for the abdomen. This setup is technically all that I'll need for a basic rig like this. Due to the way the KineFX is working, I run into a fundamental problem here. This is not a problem which I'd have using object-based rigging. And that is that I have a single joint that is controlling the rotation of two bones. I will, however, need these bones to rotate independently of each other. So we'll need to set up individual points of rotation for both the head and the abdomen. This way each bone will have a specific root and effector. It's possible to create these 3 points and then have them overlap in exactly the same space, but I'm going to separate them in order to make it more clear what is happening in this rig. I now want to split the bones that I've just created. I'll start with the abdomen. I can then right-click to bring up the contextual menu and look for the option Split Selected Lengths. This will create a joint halfway down the selected bone. I'll then modify this bone in the right viewport. I will enable tweak mode to allow me to drag the point on the screen. And I'll turn on child compensation so I can move this point independently of any of the other joints. As stated earlier, this could be moved into the same position as the center of gravity, but I'm going to separate them here. This will give me my abdomen. I can then repeat this process for the head. I'll select the head bone. I'll right-click. I'll choose Split Selected Lengths. This will give me my basic head and abdomen setup. The joint for the head closest to the center of gravity joint will be called the head root. The tip of this bone will be called the head effector. We then have the abdomen root and the abdomen effector. It is at this point that I want to make a decision on naming conventions, especially as KineFX uses naming conventions pretty heftily. I decided to change the naming conventions from what I've been using. I've decided I'll have no spaces between any of the characters. I'll also abbreviate effector to EFF. I'll simplify the name of the head effector as well. And I'll remove the space from the head root and the abdomen root. At this point I can also start paying attention to my hierarchy. To examine the hierarchy, we're going to be opening the pane tab, and the one we're going to open is called the Rig Tree tab. We'll click on this plus button. We'll then select New Pane Tab Type. Then we'll navigate to Animation, and under this submenu you'll find the Rig Tree. This will give us a representation of the hierarchy of the rig. The center of gravity is now the parent of my head root and my abdomen root. And we'll continue building out this rig in the next video.